Hi there, my name is Ryan Phillips. I currently reside in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is my entry into the My Chess poker game competition. My passion for chess dates back quite a long time. I started playing when I was 8 years old when my dad taught me, and that passion has never really wavered. Currently I teach chess to kids in the Las Vegas Valley, both at some charter schools as well as a couple of privately owned learning centers. This year I tied for first place in the under 2100 section of the National Open, which was probably my greatest chess feat to date, and something I'm still quite excited and happy about. My background in poker also dates back quite a while. I started playing poker during the Moneymaker boom, playing on Full Tilt Poker and Poker Stars and Party Poker, and recently started playing a bit on WSOP. I consider myself a bit of a poker philanthropist in that I usually, the people I play with usually leave with a little bit more money than they started, but I still love to play poker and chess, although definitely consider myself a considerably better chess player than poker player. I wanted to explain a bit of how I came up with the idea for this game I'm about to present. So when presenting the game, I also wanted to talk about the competition, the contest, and how kind of my ideas came to fruition. So my first thoughts were, when I saw the competition, was that it was a really great idea to kind of create a new game. Chess and poker have lasted the test of time and are incredible games. And I thought this was a great opportunity to try to create something unique and different, which I think I've accomplished when coming up with this new game. When hearing about the competition, my first thoughts was I didn't want to come up with something that was a chess light or poker light, because I felt that people would just play chess or poker if the games were too similar. So I definitely wanted a unique experience where some of the rules were familiar to chess and poker players, but there was definitely an opportunity for new grounds and new possibilities to be explored. So with that said, the game I came up with is called Double Up Chess. So the idea of Double Up Chess kind of takes traditional chess and it turns it on its head. Some of the most basic rules you're familiar with as far as turns, as far as one player goes and the other player goes, that's not a part of this game. In this game, every turn that you have is based on a betting system, meaning that between you and your opponent, whoever bets the most chips will have the opportunity to move. And what that does, it creates a lot of unique possibilities because there's no really illegal moves. As long as you move the chess pieces the way they're supposed to be moved, every move is considered a legal move, because there's no rule like moving into check, for example, because it's never guaranteed that it'll be your opponent's turn on the next turn. So it's a bit of a free-for-all in that you could have several moves in a row, and you could even take your king and capture 4 or 5 pieces in a row with your king if you have the chips to do so. So with that said, I'd like to introduce the person who taught me chess. I'm going to introduce my dad, and we're going to illustrate how to play double up chess. So to just, as my dad kind of comes over, just to give a little background, each player will start with 52 chips. So 52 is obviously a familiar number because it's the number of cards in a deck of cards. But also I thought it'd be more interesting from a mathematics perspective, in that if we just did 100 chips total, 50 for each player, the math might be a little too simplistic. So even though the math won't be extremely complicated, I'll add another element to the game. So basically how double up chess works is my dad and I are going to illustrate. In regular chess, white always moves first, but not in this game. So in this game, I'm going to let my dad, he's going to do the initial bid. There's going to be 5 bids total. So whoever bids first bids last. So if my opponent, my dad in this instance, is going to bet first, then I'll bet second, he'll bet third, I'll bet fourth, and he'll bet fifth if he wants to. But at any point you could say my opponent bid more chips than I want to bid, and then it'll be their move. So, want to have a good game, Dad?
Let's go get him, Ryan.
Let's do it. All right, so why don't you start out the bidding here?
Okay, 1 chip.
All right, I'll do 3 chips.
Go ahead.
All right, so in this instance, I won the bid with 3 chips. So I'm going to take 3 chips, and I'm going to slide them over to my dad here. So now he'll have 55 chips, and I'll have 49 chips. So the chips are never removed from the game. They're simply transferred from one player to the other. So now I will make my move. So say I'll go knight here, knight f3. So now whoever moves, now your opponent also gets to bid first. So even though he bid first last time, since I won the bid, he'll bid first again this time.
1 chip.
All right, let me go 3 again.
Go get him.
All right, so see, now I'm going to go 2 turns. So I'm going to give him 3 chips. So now I have 46 chips and he has 58 chips. All right, so now what should I do? All right, so now I'll go here. So once again, since I had the move, my dad will bid first again.
1 chip.
3 chips.
4 chips.
All right, go ahead. So now he'll slide 4 chips back over to me, and then my dad can make any legal chess move he wants to make.
Oh. Sorry.
Great, so now it will be my opportunity. So the reason why this game is called double up chess is in this situation, my dad has opened up the possibility for a check on my king. So if he wins this next bid, for example, and moves here, my king will be in check. So I will have to give him all of the chips I have to be able to move. Otherwise, he'll get the move and he'll just capture my king. So the reason why it's called double up chess is when he gets my king in check, I basically double up his chip amount, because if I don't do that, he'll just bid all of his chips and win the game. So that's kind of the concept. So already he's creating a big threat with moving his bishop here. And my play might not have been ideal, actually, because now I very much have to figure out a way to sort of prevent this check. But the cool thing is that even if he does give the check, I have lots of different ways to get out of check. So it won't be long before there'll be a situation where he might run short on chips if he tries to bid too many chips to get at my king. All right, so my dad moved last, so I will bid 6 chips.
Well, that's a heavy bid to start. 6 chips. Okay.
All right, so I'll slide 6 chips over to my dad. Now he's getting richer, I'm getting poorer, but the important thing is I'm stopping the check that he's going to unleash on my king. So I will develop here. So this way, if the bishop comes here, it will not be with check. But as far as whose position is better, I have more development. So if you're thinking it in classical chess terms, you'll say white's position is clearly better, but my dad has a lot more chips than I have at this point. So it's possible that he's the one that's in better shape here.
Right now I'm a +8, or I have 60 chips.
Yeah, so that's a big advantage. So so we'll see what he does with that chip advantage. All right, so you're gonna bid here, Dad?
Oh, you
So I move, so
right,
alright,
right,
so you're
you're
gonna
right,
bid?
correct.
1 chip. I'll bid 3 chips.
Go ahead.
So at this point, I probably should do something with all these extra moves I'm getting. So as you can see, even though I'm getting extra moves, it's not guaranteed that I'm the one who's doing better here. So there's a lot of rich strategic possibilities, because the amount of chips you have is just as important, or arguably more important, than the actual position on the chessboard. And I think because of that fact, that even players of different chess abilities will be able to have a really competitive game. So I see no reason why someone like 500-600 points rating difference won't be able to, the lower rated player won't be able to beat the higher rated player a lot of times.
1 chip.
All right, I'll go 6 chips.
Seven.
All right, go ahead. So my dad's gonna slide over 7 chips to me, and then he'll make his move, and then I'll be the bid next time. And then I also have a chess clock here, as you can see. We're not actually using it for this game, but I kind of envision this as being a quick game where this is just a suggestion, but each player will get 10 minutes aside, and we also have a 10-second delay. So I envision that the bidding part of the game will go quick, and most of the time will be spent thinking about the chess moves. But as in chess, you can allocate your time however you want to. All right, so I will go 4 chips.
Go ahead.
You got a single and get back. And then if you don't have chips at your house, in lieu of chips, you could use any kind of change you have laying around your house. You could also use like paper and pencil to write down. You start with 52, and then you could write like minus if you're the one who makes the move, and then your opponent would add chips if they did not make the move. So there's lots of different ways that you can keep score and make sure that like if you don't have chips laying around the house, lots of different other types of currency you could use to keep score. So now I'm attacking the queen, and the thing that's also very interesting is it's not really clear how many chips each piece is worth.
Like if I bid so many chips to win the queen, for example, well, he could if I give my dad 3 moves in a row, he'll win because he's gonna go bishop here, bishop takes here, and then bishop takes my king. So you always have to be keeping track of how many chips you have as well. So the queen isn't really nearly as valuable as preserving some chips for me, because if I say bid, I have 20, 40, I have 44 chips. So say I really want to get his queen, so I do something outrageous and bid like 42 chips, he'll be happy to lose his queen because that'll give him the opportunity to do 3 moves in a row and get my king. So it's really strategic. You always want to be thinking about how many chips you have.
3 chips.
3 chips. All right, I'll go 6 chips.
7 chips.
All right, go ahead. So I think you have an idea of how the game's going to be played. Just to give a little follow-up, again, there's no illegal moves. Like the kings are able to attack one another because, again, you never know whose turn it's going to be. So even if the kings are like this, it's not, I could move my king into a check, for example, because it's not guaranteed that it'll be my opponent's turn next move. So I have just as much opportunity to capture my dad's king in this instance as he would to capture my king. So if I have more chips than him, I would happily move my king here because I'm going to bid all my chips next turn and I'll capture the king. So what it really does is it kind of turns traditional chess on its head. All kinds of like mating patterns and stuff like that don't really exist anymore because it's only a checkmate if you have enough chips to move again to actually capture the king. Because even if you put the king in a check where that it can't get out of, so a checkmate in this instance, your opponent can always go 2 turns in a row in order to get out of the check. So the rules of chess are completely changed in the sense that there's no illegal moves and all kinds of mating combinations that grandmasters and strong players know. They might actually be ineffective in this version because the goal is to basically have enough chips to make moves to get after the king, just as much so as coordinating your pieces in a way that will help you capture the king. So I think my dad and I are going to keep playing this game, but we'll say goodbye to you right now, and I hope you like this game, and it was a real honor to present for the My Chess Poker Game competition. My dad and I have been playing this quite a bit, and we've had some back and forth results, which is great. So, and the great thing is that even after the losses, it's really hard to pinpoint where you went wrong. So I think it's going to be something that there's a lot of strategic elements and something that people will be able to play for quite a while without really figuring out what the best strategy is, sort of like just like chess and poker in that regard. And also a game that's rules are really easy to learn, just like chess and poker. And I think that'll make it a fun game for players of all levels. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And say goodbye, Dad.
Say goodbye, Dad.
Thank you so much. Thank you.